Hey guys, how you doing? It's Phineas. Hope you're doing well today. Sending you lots of love, life and motivation at the start of this video. No matter what's going on with your life or your day or your week or your year, I hope that I can add a little bit of oomph to your day or your week coming forward. And all this YouTube channel is about for me is just kind of informing people of what I'm learning as I'm going on. And people that I talk to, things that I read, books that I read, trying to educate you guys to basically look at yourselves differently, look at life differently. So I've got a good one for you today, something which I've briefly mentioned before, and something which is, I don't know, in the current state the political climate is in this country and abroad and in Europe. I think it's important. It's really reminded me of what society has kind of done to us. Now, before I get going, I just want to say to everybody that I think it's really important to like kind of where you live, understand kind of where you are geographically. I know that sounds a bit weird, but north, south, east, west, feel grounded. I think it's good to try and keep love in your heart at all times, no matter what's going on, because this video is going to be quite negative. And I don't want you to go away from it feeling, you know, all full of conspiracies and negativity and that sort of thing, because I don't think that mindset is helpful for your emotions. And so I just want to get that one out of the way. But I mean, what I'm going to talk to you today is about programming and how programmed we all are from birth, by our parents, by our teachers, by our employers, by the media, by the government, by your doctor, by your supermarket, by branding, by TV, by radio. It's almost like a constant bombardment of what I suppose society deems as normality, Western society deems as normality, of just playing to your ego, of where you are taught what to do for a living, you are taught to get a job, you are taught to pay this much tax, you're taught to get into debt, you are taught that sometimes your talents aren't real, if that makes sense, like intuition, sensitivity, almost a sixth sense is never tapped into in an education system. Your feeling about stuff and your connection to others and nature and feeling that oneness and not separated is never taught. And so people's talents rarely come forward. You often find people kind of switch career later in life, but I mean, if we were just all taught what we're really good at on a soul level when we were really young, the world would be a better place. But we are all programmed to believe, mainly by society, that we are separate, that we are not connected to God, and fear is taught by the media, by governments. Most of us are scared of something, running out of money, survival, it's a big one, violence. And these things are pushed onto you every day from multiple media sources. Now, I'm not saying these things aren't real, but there is a fear generated in Western society. And it's all based around mainly your survival. Now, I've been doing a lot of reading at the moment by Joe Dispenza. As you know, I keep mentioning him in a video. I'm not going to mention him too much in this one, but really that's about unprogramming yourself to see how in control you are. Society almost, and people and parents and mainly, and sometimes friends, and it's almost like you got to control, control, it's going to get out of control, I must control it all. And that's egoic, that's your ego, scared. Joe Dispenza's switching that round and he's like, okay, let's drop the fear, whatever scares you, let's take back control. Let's take back control of your life, where you want it to go from a soul level. With an open heart, what's your talent? What can you do? How can you help? But society at the moment, and the education system has a lot to answer for, is not geared towards bringing out true talents of people. Gauging on the fact we've still got a police force and an army in every country, it means that we don't know how to behave ourselves. We're out of control. We need a law force, we need an army to protect ourselves. That's just goes to show you that the human race has not understood what it actually is. And what the human race actually is one connected body, connected to the divine by love. And we should all be serving each other. That is not taught at school, and it is not reinforced by the media. I know we have the moral police on social media, which mainly are like the Roman mob, who just attack anyone for saying anything honest. That ain't like, people look at that as being the moral compass of our society, which is almost a joke. People can't be honest anymore without getting attacked. That goes for anybody, anything, any individual that, you know, if you have an opinion about something, you get cut down for it. That is not going forward. That is going more and more separate and judging. And when we judge others, we're not understanding. Because when we judge others, we become more separate. So we are programmed to judge. We are programmed to be scared. We are sometimes programmed to hate. And mainly be scared and fearful. So we work more, we pay more tax, we follow and conform to the system. And that is not the truth. The truth is that we are here to learn that we are connected to a higher force and to help one another. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need a police force. We wouldn't need to lock your door if everybody understood the rules and the cat connection, but it's not taught. Now, you hear stories about the kind of native tribes in South America, and they do initiations, and in Africa, still do initiations for their young men, and they put them to near death. So all of a sudden, some of them will have a flash of what life actually is, and then a great intuition going forward about love and connection, and then they are ready to rule. Until you have that awakening, you cannot be trusted almost to do the right thing. And how many of our leaders in Western society have been through those initiations? None of them. Most of them have been lawyers, bankers, high-profile executives that have probably never done a second of meditation in their lives. The Buddhists say that they gauge how old you are and the amount of time you've meditated. Look at our leaders today. Oh man, we're being ruled by babies. But guys, you need to take control of yourself, and you know the doctor will tell you that those pharmaceutical drugs are great. The supermarkets will tell you that the low-fat stuff that's full of sugar is good for you. The government will put the willies up you about if you don't pay tax, what's going to happen to you. There's fear being generated about lots of things. Even the church doesn't really understand that individual being part of God. Not really. You worship God and you thank him and you say sorry all the time. That isn't quite the way it works. Not really in the real spiritual world. You are a divine being. You just got to come home. You've got to come home. And then you start realising, and guys, I'm on the journey. I have days where I feel amazing. I have days where I'm stuck in that fear again. But I also do still go to church with my children who go to a religious school, and I do get some truth out of the Gospels and that sort of thing, because what Jesus was saying was right. It's just that it's interpreted incorrectly. I have my own take on it all. But to me, a big sin for us all is just staying in that program, conforming, never breaking out of it. Conforming to me is a sin. You're not waking up, you're not breaking free, you're not seeing what it is. If you're just treading water and you're happy in life, you're probably going to get a big shock at some point, I think. And I know that might upset a lot of people, but I think it's true. It upsets my family when I say that, but I think it's true. I think if you don't deal with the crap inside you now, you're going to be in for a mighty shock later. If you're attached to everything around you, people, material, you're only going to be hurting later. You've got to learn to detach yourself from society, detach yourself from material, come back to that divine feeling inside in meditation or whatever you do. I've done videos on what I do, so I'm not quite there yet with it, but I do try, and I do get moments of, I've had a huge awakening, and I get moments of huge clarity about what life is. And I'm lucky to be surrounded by people at the moment, also clients and friends that kind of think the same as me, and that's really helpful. And so, listen, guys, that's about it today. You're in your own Truman Show. That's all I'll say. Things are watching you that you can't see. Everybody wants you to win. Your true self, your higher self, the beings around you, which may sound a bit funky to people, but it's true. There's things watching you. You are the star of your own movie. And those things want you to win. They want you to come home. They want you to open your heart. They want you to serve others. Doesn't mean you can't prosper in life. That's a myth. You can prosper if you do it the right way, and everybody wins. But look out for the programming on the TV and the radio and the newspapers. All these big distractions: war, Brexit, Trump, China, Russia, terrorism. All these big distractions that are meant to keep us scared so we don't come home. Start waking up today. Start meditating if you don't. Start looking out for yourself, health-wise, spiritually. Okay, guys, I'm past my 10-minute threshold. If you like my video, smash like. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. I try and put truth across to you as much as I can. And so, sending lots of love and light to you guys. I'm going to get out in the sunshine around nature, and I'm going to stay happy, love and light in my heart, not let that stuff bother me. I'm just aware of it, and I want to be free of it all, and it will happen. I know it will, and it can happen for you as well. Okay, guys, see you later.